The feeling of willingly move crowds is so thrilling. Even Prince Charles is willing to pay shillings.
Hello world, and welcome to Songs in the Key of G. My name is Mark G, and this is a series where I talk about songs that are special to me, and then hopefully either introduce them to you or bring back your memories of these special songs. So please feel free to comment on anything. I don't consider myself an expert. I'm just a music lover. Ever since I was a kid, I just used to sit in my room and read the liner notes and analyze it way too closely. And I just love it, and I've never grown out of it. I grew up in a pretty musical household. My dad was a classic rock guy. He loved the Beatles and the Stones. My mom was more into soul. She loved Motown. She loved James Brown, Aretha Franklin, the Spinners, the Ohio Players. She loved the Ohio Players. And I did too, because I used to take her albums and look at the naked ladies on the cover. And she loved everything up to even like P-Funk, George Clinton. And that was kind of more the route that I went. I really loved how different George Clinton was and how out there he was. And I just really gravitated to the music that wasn't mainstream. In fact, I was one of the kids that tuned into American Top 40 with Casey Kasem to listen to the last 20, you know. By the time it got to the top 20, I figured that didn't really contain anything I wanted to listen to. Another great source of music for me was the roller rink. They would play just weird stuff that you didn't really hear on the radio. And I remember one night in 1979, I was 10 years old, so I heard Rapper's Delight. And I remember not even understanding that it was a particular genre. I remember telling my friends, hey, have you heard that song where they talk instead of sing? Now, keep in mind, I'm not from the Bronx. I'm from Osceola, Indiana, right? So I didn't really understand the cultural significance of it. In fact, the second hip-hop song I heard was The Sequence, and I didn't get it still. I remember saying, oh, they're copying off of the Sugar Hill Gang, you know? But then I started to understand because I got introduced to Enjoy Records, home of the great Treacherous 3, oh my goodness, the great Kumo D. I could do a million shows on that guy, a pioneer, and I'm sure we will get to him. LA Sunshine and Special K, also the great DJ Easy Lee. The other group that I became introduced to on the Enjoy label that immediately became my favorite was Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. Of course, Grandmaster Flash on the turntables, the great MELLE, Kid Creole, Keith Cowboy, Raheem, and Scorpio. Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. I remember hearing Super Rap and just thinking, wow, okay, so this is what it's really about. And I was hooked immediately. So even the Sugar Hill records, I remember, I heard the Sugar Hill Gang, I heard Rapper's Delight, so that was pre-internet. So, those were the days where you just went to the record store, and first of all, you looked at every single record and tape in the entire place, but you just found things that either looked cool or labels that had released something cool, and that's what I did with Sugar Hill. So again, the Sugar Hill Gang, history doesn't really fondly remember them. But the Funky 4+1, the great SHA-ROCK, one of the all-time great female MCs, Spoonie G, oh man, Spoonie G, Spoon and Rap. When I heard Spoon and Rap, I went crazy, right? So I could do a show about any of those, but I consider this the most important hip-hop song of all time. Now, I'm not saying it's the best, and I'm not even saying it's my favorite, because it's not. It's one of them, but I'm talking about the message from Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, specifically MELLE and the late, great Duke Bootee. So the message comes out July of 1982, first as a single on the Sugar Hill label, and then an album later that year. And it blew me away. The words were just so hard-hitting. I just really was amazed at the things you could express with this new music. Every time you heard something, you were hearing the newest thing. The amount of innovation in 20 years' time of hip-hop is staggering. And in those early years, it moved at light speed. We're going to follow the cultural shifts, the big records that made everybody before that sound dated. And that's the way the message came out. Everything before that just seemed so light. And this, you could just tell this was going to be the way of the future. People were going to use this art form to say real things. So the song starts with that signature keyboard line.
It makes me wonder how I keep from going under.
It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under.
Broken glass everywhere. People pissing on the stage, you know they just don't care.
These words are relevant today. The song came out 40 years ago and people are saying, hey, don't push me because I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head, right?
My brother's doing fast on my mother's TV. Says she watches too much. It's just not healthy.
It's just very vivid. You know, Duke Bootee. I got a bum education, double-digit inflation, can take the train to the job. There's a strike at the station. Neon King Kong standing on my back, can't stop to turn around. Broke my sacroiliac. A mid-range, migraine, cancer, membrane. Sometimes I think I'm going insane. I swear I might hijack a plane. When I heard that, I was just like, goodness, right?
A child is born with no state of mind, blind to the ways of mankind.
It's MELLE, and it's a throwback, actually, to he said it in Super Rappin'. A child is born with no state of mind, blind to the ways of mankind. God is smiling on you, but he's frowning too, because only God knows what you go through. You'll grow in the ghetto, live a second rate, and your eyes will sing a song of deep hate. The places you play and where you stay looks like one great big alleyway. You'll admire all the number book takers, the pimps and pushers and the big money makers, driving big cars, spending 20s and 10s, and you want to grow up to be just like them. That was such a jump from what was before that it will forever be burned in my mind. And MELLE, I don't know if there's ever a way that you'll see this, but I want you to know this. I saw you and the SUGARHILL gang actually perform at Subterranean in Chicago upstairs. And when you did the message and everybody in there rapped every single word with you, it was a very special moment in my life. It was really beautiful, and it was something I was glad to be a part of. So MELLE, always one of my top tier MCs. See, I'm so old, you can't ask me what my top 5 is because I go all the way back. I got to ask you what era, because I'm putting guys like MELLE in it. I'm putting guys like Kumo D in it, you know? So I just love this music, and I'm going to continue to make some of these videos. If you like them, you know, like and subscribe. I'm going to go ahead and leave it at that, and just you know, be good to each other. You know, the world needs a little bit more of that. So until next time, I'm Mark G. Peace.
Come on. If you love hip hop, to all the real MCs. If you love love hip hop, it's to all the real MCs. Come on. Come on. If you love hip hop, it's to all the real MCs. Come on. If you love hip hop, it's to all the real MCs.